So I've always believed in the power of hashtags. It's been something that I've been focusing on for a long time, even before I started doing this full time. It mainly when I was working in an agency for someone else as my boss, it was convincing them of the power of hashtags
That's
and
insane.
having to fight against it. And I'm like, look at this post who has like one branded hashtag versus this post that has one branded hashtag along with 25 to 29 other hashtags. Like this is getting more engagement. More people are beginning to follow us and are interested in the business versus the people who are already following us and aren't really paying attention anyway.
Yep.
So, I mean, once I got to be my own boss and was able to be like, I don't care what anyone else says. Like, this is how it is. I'm the expert when it comes to approaching this conversation with a client, at least in their eyes. I don't like to call myself an expert. I'm just,
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. So when I really started putting together like a list of groups of hashtags that really worked together and kind of sang a beautiful song and provided my clients with intense engagement and likes, that's when I was like, you know what? I think I want to give this away to everybody who needs it. But on the Game of Thrones note, like Mother of Marketing is modeled after Mother of Dragons and the whole Khaleesi concept of like giving to others and making sure that it's not just a system built on giving to myself, it's giving to everyone around me and helping them and building them up. So in providing this hashtag guide, it really has helped a lot of the people that have utilized it on a consistent basis. You can't just use it whenever you want. Consistently, people, consistency. They have seen, like I mentioned in all of my promo, an average of 24% growth within the first day of using the hashtags. Like, that's amazing.
Yep.
And when you start looking at, the content you're pairing with those hashtags and utilizing a variety as opposed to just hashtag everything that has to do with the color orange, then you're going to see more variety of people who begin following you as opposed to just the same old mom groups that already follow you.
Yep. Love it. What I love that you came out with it for free. That's so many people try and charge
$100 a month.
Yeah, $100 a month, or here $20 and you can have it. It's amazing how many people try and get the small dollars, and like if you were to give it for free, how much opportunity actually comes that far outweighs that whatever you're going to charge. So at what point, what made you want to do it for free, give it away for free, and why was your mindset that?
Yeah, so I have this thing called the Instagram Masterclass, and that is my paid product that I am redeveloping again after all the beta testing I've done the last year and a half. And in order to get people onto my email list to educate them about the Instagram Masterclass, I really needed something that was going to drive their interest. And all of the things that people have out there, like, an Instagram strategy sheet, or here's tips on how to develop your Instagram strategy. I'm like, none of this is helpful because it's applicable to thousands of people as opposed to the individual. So in using this hashtag list, like there are categories of a couple different groups of hashtags. So like personal finance, I think there's like 7 different hashtag groups in there that allow varieties of different personal finance bloggers to incorporate those tags on a rotating basis. And I kind of just did it based off of the people that were in my beta test groups. Like if you were to be given something free to opt into to learn more about this class, what would you want it to be? What would be helpful to you and help you understand the value that I'm able to provide you? And they were like, well, hashtags are really important. It takes a lot of time to find a good hashtag, and sometimes you don't even know what a good hashtag is. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. How much time do I realistically have these days to do my own hashtag research?
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of time. So for someone who's like me, who doesn't have time, to be able to have a guide, like 17 pages worth of hashtags that I can use at the drop of a hat, like that seems really valuable and something that people are going to be like, this is free? Cool. Well, if this is free, I can't even imagine how much my mind is going to be blown when I actually take this class.
Love it. All about bringing value. That's the name of the game. Long term and bring value. Don't sell, bring value, and long term, and all of a sudden the sales come. Yeah. It's amazing. What goes into the actual hashtag research? Do you literally just because I'm familiar with keyword research.
Yeah.
I mean, I test on my own personal one just to kind of see it, what works, but what is like your methodology and how you actually research the...
Yeah. So I do where it all comes back to looking at what my competitors are doing or what a client's competitors are doing, what hashtags they're using, and then taking those hashtags, breaking them down one by one, and just performing a simple Instagram search. How many extra posts are pulled up with this specific hashtag? And then looking, so like hashtag dogs of Instagram, which by the way is super spammy and super hardcore shadow banned status. So don't ever use it. But let's use the hashtag dogs of Instagram as an example. There are 11 million plus posts with that hashtag alone. You are never going to be seen with that hashtag, so why would you use it? Well, also it's shadow banned, so why would you use it anyway? But like understanding what hashtags are being used by a competitor and which ones have the best reach. And then putting them into that group. So to determine which hashtag has the best reach, it's best to look for something that has between 500,000 and 67,000 posts. That means that hashtag is being used really consistently, but it's also not being hardcore spammed by millions of users on Instagram. So we look for hashtags that are within that sweet spot. And then we just load up each group with those kinds of hashtags, as well as a few that kind of help put you into a larger generalized group of a couple million posts. Nothing insane over like 5 million or so posts within that hashtag. Because even then you're not really going to show up a whole lot, and you might be targeted by a bot who's liking things based off that hashtag. So that's kind of how we do it. In terms of the hours that it takes to do all of this research, we were spending about 10 hours a week looking into hashtags specifically for each of our clients. So about 2 hours a day, Monday through Friday, if you're a weekend person, because I definitely am. So we would take like 30-minute chunks or 10-minute chunks out of those 2 hours, and then do just a broad term search on hashtags for a specific client to incorporate new hashtags into the hashtags we are already using. And now that I have this huge guide that I pull from every now and then, I have a little bit more time to be able to look into other groupings of hashtags and do research on my competitors who are also offering some kind of hashtag guide. There's this thing called the hashtag files, hashtag society, or something like that. It's a Facebook group where they want to charge you $100 a month for you to be a part of their Facebook group, and they give you what they say is like 100 hours of hashtag research every single month between 3 or 4 women. And I used 12 groups of their hashtags. And my hashtags had way more engagement compared to theirs. Yeah. It took 3 days for one of my posts to get the same, with their hashtags, to get the same level of engagement as it did for one of my posts with my hashtags in a 24-hour period. And like with Instagram and how many people are on that platform now and how timely posts have to be, you have a 24-hour period in order for your post to actually be successful and start pulling up more in that Instagram feed.
So it can start picking up steam at a 12, 15. It's not right away.
No, it's not right away. With a new client that I just signed on, she's an anchor and TV host out in California. And she's a super nice lady too. Another parent. I get a lot of parents because I'm like, we understand each other and the kid's loud in the background. It's fine. But she and I, she hadn't been really using a whole lot of hashtags and had really been focusing on making her audience the ones who engage. And when we started using hashtags, and testing out like the times of day to post for her, we started noticing that posting at 10:40 p.m. was more successful in terms of gaining new likes for her profile compared to posting in the afternoon, when we would be thinking like, oh, a mom could just be sitting on the couch, feeding her baby, looking through Instagram or whatever. People are more apt to find your content later in the evening before they're going to bed or right when they wake up in the morning, and timing it at 10:40 p.m. allows us to say, okay, we're hitting the West Coast super late at night. And then we're also getting into the East Coast and some of the other outlying time zones that are later, like basically 2 or 3 in the morning. And these people are waking up pretty early or waking up around 6 a.m., 3 a.m. our time. And our post is going to be seen first in that feed because we've already had that West Coast engagement right at bedtime for when you're looking through your newspaper.
Yeah.